Hi, my name is Gabriela Vidal and I'm on third semester of Mechatronics Engineering. In this video, I will share my reflections about what I have learned on this semester, like sustainability, climate change, ethics, and my own habits. This reflection is called Metacognition, which is basically about thinking how we learn, like what we learn, how we learn it, what strategies help or make it more difficult, and how that learning can guide our actions. So, to guide my reflection, I will use the five questions proposed by Robert Schwartz, like what have I learned, how have I learned it, what has been easy, difficult, or innovative, what can I improve, and how has this process helped me, and how can I apply this knowledge in different situations. So, I will organize my reflections in four dimensions: the personal, the professional, the citizen, and the consumer, all focused on how me as an individual can make a positive impact in addressing climate change. First, I'm going to start with the personal dimension. The most important thing that I learned it was that small changes in daily habits can make a real difference. Like for example, reducing my shower time, turning off lights when leaving a room, and reusing water all add up. I learned this by tracking my habits and setting my commitments at the beginning of the semester. Some changes were easier than others, like, for example, turning off the lights was simple, but reducing shower time was more challenging at first, and I had to find innovative ways to help myself, like timing my showers by counting with songs or using a timer. What I can improve is being like even more consistent and finding ways to reduce water and energy use further. I can apply this learning by continuing to make conscious choices in my daily life, like showing this personal responsibility that I have and that this matters when it comes to sustainability. So now in the professional dimension, I reflected on how my career as mechatronics engineer can contribute to sustainability. That, for example, the systems, all the machines, and the technologies that I design in the future can either contribute to climate change or help to mitigate it. I also learned that understanding all of these concepts will help me to apply what I know to create solutions for real problems, like, for example, designing smart systems that use less electricity or automatizing processes to reduce waste. All of this can help and can be applied in real life. Like, for example, the easiest part of all of this was to understand the theory, but the most challenging part is how I know how to apply it to real life. And I also discovered that by thinking critically and creatively, I can develop solutions that are both effective and responsible for all. Also, moving forward, I commit to always considering sustainability as part of my engineering decisions, like from prototypes in class projects or also in the industry in future projects. I will consider all of this of sustainability ethics, and in this way, my professional choices can actively contribute to reducing environmental impact. So now in the citizen dimension, I reflected on how I can act responsibly in my community. During this course, my group worked on a project analyzing the flooding in Ingolstadt, Germany, caused by heavy rains and overflowing rivers. This helped me to see how environmental problems affect people directly and reinforced the importance of taking action at the local level in the cities. In addition, now I'm participating in the development of Dos Vidas. It's a project that creates recycled notebooks with plantable sheets and provides support to young people in vulnerable communities. All of this has helped me to understand that the choices that we make not only impact ourselves but also other people. The concepts that we learned in class, like for example the greenwashing, are helping me to think critically about how to promote this project of Dos Vidas responsibly and ethically. So all of this will help me a lot in my future life and to be conscious of how me as a citizen can affect not only me but other people too. So now, finally, in the consumer dimension, I learned that my consumption habits, like for example, food, clothing, and energy, have a direct effect on the planet. The initial commitments that I made, like for example, reducing meat consumption, avoiding single use plastics, and only buying what I truly need, are really meaningful ways to reduce my footprint. I learned all of this by monitoring my ecological footprint at the beginning and at the end of the semester. And this was a concept that I didn't know before. And it also helped me with my commitments by committing to specific actions, helped me to really make all of this. And for example, some changes like using reusable bags were easy, but for example, others like consistently planning meals to reduce my animal products consumption were harder. And I have to find innovative solutions like for example batch cooking and also the meal planning to make the changes manageable. What I can improve for the future is like maintaining these habits in the long term and also exploring additional ways to reduce my energy use and waste. So, through all of this subject, I learned that sustainability is about consistent small actions as much as it is about big projects. Also, that most of the times we are not aware of some actions that we make that really affects the planet, and that being aware of my habits allows me to make better decisions, and these choices can have a measurable impact on the planet. And the next step for me is to continue improving my habits, influencing others, and applying sustainable practices in my career as an engineer. And now I understand my role as a single agent, like that my actions matter, what I do matters, and that I can contribute to systematic solutions for climate change and making a difference in my community and in where I am. Climate change affects all of us. Every choice we make, what we buy, how we use energy, how we use water, and how we live has consequences. I encourage everyone to reflect on their habits, make conscious choices, and act responsibly. Together, we can build a sustainable future. Remember that small changes can lead to big impacts. Let's be agents of change starting today.